What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we are going to be talking about Nature Nut and the shenanigans that went on at the bond hearing and everything that was dropped at the hearing that they were talking about, child. I had to sit and listen and write a full transcript. Now, I could have typed it and made my life easier. However, I took it down to the pen and the pad, and I wrote down everything that they said, and, well, as much as I could, so that I could relay it to y'all what was said. Now, the bond hearing was held on a Zoom meeting. So being that it was held on a Zoom meeting for the DeKalb County, they don't want you to record it and repost it, okay? So I didn't see them say that you can't write a transcript and read the proceedings yourself. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to read the transcript that I have written out from the bond hearing. And we are going to go over everything that happened, everything that they said about Nature Nut and the cult. And we are going to get into it, honey. So grab you some popcorn. Go ahead and share the live, because I did have you guys waiting for quite a bit. So share the live. Let people know that we are live, okay? Matter of fact, let me try to also... somebody put it on their Insta story so I can, repost that we're live. Roll it.
An accused cult leader will stay behind bars after a judge denied his bond this morning. Eligio Bishop was arrested in April, accused of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing explicit content online. DeKalb County police say he ran a cult out of a home on Arbor Chase in Decatur, and the judge denied his bond, saying he believed Bishop was a danger to the community and may try to intimidate his alleged victims.
All right. So as you see, that was just reported today by WSB-TV of Atlanta, saying that he will stay behind bars. Let's run it back since it was so quick.
An accused cult leader will stay behind bars after a judge denied his bond this morning. Eligio Bishop was arrested in April, accused of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing explicit content online.
All right. So as you see right there, that is the news telling y'all you will not pass go. You will not collect $200. And that's just what it's going to be. Now, he went before a bond court, and the prosecutors laid out their case. His public defender laid out his case, and ultimately the black man in charge, hold up, let me refer to my notes, Mr. Winston Bethel. Mr. Winston Bethel was the black man in charge, and Mr. Winston Bethel said, yo, bond, I'm the black man in charge of this court, and your bond is going to be denied. And then the Euretias rejoiced.
The black man is God!
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 Feel my power, black man! This is your power! Come on, let's go. Yeah.
All right. So as you can see right there, he sent his power to the judge. And so the black man who was in charge got all of that power that he exuded. And he said, okay, black man, I feel your power. Because he gave him the power. He said, black man, feel my power. He said it. Hold on. Let me bring it back. He told the black man to feel his power and transferred his power onto the black man in charge that denied him of his bond. Let me bring it back so y'all can see that he gave him his power.
The black man is God!
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 Feel my power, black man! This is your power! Come on, let's go. Yes, black man, you are God!
All right. So as you said, he told Mr. What's his name? Let me refer back to my notes. Winston Bethel received the power. Okay? That just shows you how powerful he is. That he was able to transfer his power to the judge. And with the power that he gave to the judge said, black man, with this power, I then proceed to bond you back into the confines of your prison without bond. Okay? And that is what Mr. Winston declared today, March 6th, 2022. Okay? That's what was said. That's what he was talking about. Now, before we go any further, as y'all know, I always have to plug my website. Now, over on my website, you can find goods like the items that you see me wearing. Now, I feel like the bucket hat is the staple item of the summer. And over on my website, you will be able to find a variety of cute bucket hats. You know, I have LA hats, I have New York bucket hats, I have just a wide range of different bucket hats. And y'all see how cute, y'all see me without the bucket hat. Do y'all see just how cute the bucket hat just enhances and just does it? It just does it every time. It just does it every time. So you want to definitely go to my website, which is on the screen right here, www.neekatnight.com. Now, I do not have a sale. Actually, I do. If you want to get 15% off of your total purchase, all you have to do is put in the code Night Owl. So you will get 15% off of your total purchase and you put in the code Night Owl. Or if you use the code Blowout, you can get 40% off of pajamas and lingerie. Now, you can only use one code or the other. So if you want to get, if you find yourself and you want to buy more, you know, lingerie and goodies, then all you have to do is put in the code Blowout, and you can utilize my weekend sale to get monies off of your purchase. But if you want to get your coin applied to like bucket hats or my adult goodies or anything like that, then you could use the code Night Owl. So it's up to you. You could use the code to get 40% off of pajamas, or you could use the code to get monies off of, you know, the other items. It is what it is. But now let's get back to this broadcast. Okay. Just had to plug myself again. And so let me show y'all this power, and then we're gonna read it through.
The black man is God!
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 Feel my power, black man! This is your power! Come on, let's go. Yes, black man, you are God! I'm here!
All right. And here he is in the DeKalb County jail. And Mr. Winston Bethel said, you are here for sure, because we are not getting any bond, and any bond is not happening. Okay. Do I have a yellow bucket hat? Yes, I do. I have an all yellow bucket hat that says LA, and then I have a bucket hat that's black with smiley faces. So check it out and do your thing. So anyways, so there was a couple of not YouTubers. There was a couple of people who were instrumental in me being able to report this report today. So I do want to shout out some content creators. It was a struggle. So first of all, True. I spoke to True, and I had a conversation with True on Instagram, and I asked True would he like to interview. He said that when he has the opening, that he would, consider interviewing with me. Now, True, in my last video, I told y'all that you can't be messing up now. True told us that he was going to put the Zoom link up for us to be able to watch the Zoom. Now, True gave us the incorrect link. And so that caused me to not catch the hearing right exactly on time. So me and a friend was on the phone, and I was sitting there like, okay, the link that True put up ain't working. It's not working. It's not working. So me and him is talking about how we gonna get the dang link. So then we searching through the websites. Then I had to end up calling the judge's secretary. So then by the time I called the judge secretary gave me the member ID, the Zoom login. I log into Zoom, and right when I log into Zoom, they was like at the end of the hearing. And I'm like, you know what? You're messing up. So anyways, shout out to the people who was able to catch this in real time. I believe Charlie on Bigo, his handle is Charlie No Angel. He was able to catch this in real time, and he was able to let the people hear what was going on. Some people recorded his stream when he was live. And then there was other people who also recorded the stream also. So another YouTuber that I got my transcripts from is Mind Over Matter TV. So I just wanted to shout out those two because those are the two that were instrumental for my coverage today. So I want to thank Charlie over on Bigo, Charlie No Angel. If you guys have Bigo, he's over on Bigo app. I think he just started a YouTube. And then Mind Over Matter TV had it to where I was able to get a little bit more, and I literally wrote down pages after pages of what was said. So we're going to be here a while. So grab a drink, grab whatever, because I'm going to read through what was said. Other than today, though, there's other YouTubers, there's other Instagrammers who also keep up with Natureboy. Immortal Mortals is another Instagram that keeps up with Natureboy. Carbon Nation is Falling is another one that keeps up. Those two are on Instagram. There's another one that's on Instagram too. I can't think of the name. And then the main one over here on YouTube that keeps up with Natureboy is the T. The T gets a lot of flack for covering Natureboy coverage, but I enjoy the T's coverage. So I appreciate everybody who is a collective, who is reporting on this and, you know, helping move the story along so that people get awareness. A lot of people get in competition and feel like they have ownership over this story for some reason, but we all reporting, okay? Everybody reporting it. It is what it is. And we all should be working together. But anyway, so let's read through the transcript. So from the part that I started at, it was basically the prosecutor. So the prosecution basically was laying out the reason why Natureboy should stay behind bars. Somebody said, is True going to come in for an interview? I spoke to True. I told True that I will not troll him. I told him, I said, listen, on my channel, I'm going to have a little fun, and I'm going to be, you know, cracking some jokes here and there. And I told True that if I actually do an interview with him, that I will not troll him. I will take it serious, and I will ask serious questions. So, you know, the floor is definitely open for True to come over here. And, you know, I will keep my word. I'm not going to troll him, but I am going to definitely ask the serious questions that, you know, we want to know. Okay. I also spoke with Solar, but we'll get to that part a little bit later in the stream. So anyways, at the bond hearing, the proceeding, it starts out with the prosecutor basically talking about the night in question and basically talking about what happened. So the prosecutor started to lay out why this is serious, why Natureboy may be a flight risk, and why it is very much imperative to not allow him bond at all. So the prosecutor states the defendant brought her to his room and proceeded to R her. She talks about how she told him no multiple times, that she did not want to have hanky-panky with him, but he proceeded to do so. Despite her saying no, specifically, he told her that she was his property and that she could not leave. The defendant then proceeded to R her in the room. The victim disclosed to law enforcement how her body tensed up. that she was not cooperating at that time. The defendant even had to physically turn her over to continue the act of penetration. At that point, she was crying and wanted to leave, but felt like she could not leave because she was fearful of the defendant and because of how manipulative he is. They ended up going to sleep, and then in the middle of the night, in the early hours of the next morning, the victim was able to leave. It says, and then she contacted law enforcement to tell them about what happened. When law enforcement received this request, they go to the house where this incident occurred. And when they go to the house, they encounter multiple individuals, approximately about 15 individuals. The reason they are going to the house is because when the victim came forward, she also tells the police that the defendant ended up posting explicit videos of them engaging in hanky-panky on social media as an act of revenge for leaving the cult. Okay? So I want to make sure that you guys hear me clearly. I want to make sure y'all hear me clearly. All right, so cool. We're going to keep going. So again, this is the prosecutor laying out basically what Janae told the authorities about this incident. So she says, once she left, she went to the police. He then posted explicit videos of them engaging in hanky-panky on social media as an act of revenge for leaving the cult. And it says, this is the kind of workings of the court in, She said, and the kind of workings of the cult is important for the court to consider today because it does go to whether the defendant poses a significant risk to the community as well as to the victim. And what law enforcement has learned is that this defendant calls himself apparently God, three God. He refers to himself as the Messiah, and he's also known as Natureboy on social media channels across different platforms. He refers to himself this way and orders the members of his cult or followers to engage in physically abusive behavior. For instance, our victim who came forward stated on multiple occasions the defendant would order the women to smack or hit her, and she was not the only one. He would also order other women to hit and abuse other women in the cult as well as the men involved. Based on this, a lot of the members, including the victim, are fearful of the defendant, fearful to leave or in any way defend themselves. She goes on to talk about kind of how he is manipulative over everyone involved and that the cult does travel. Okay? All right, so it looks like you guys can hear. Thanks, D-Love, for showing the weekend sale. I do appreciate my moderators being swift. Okay? So she first lays out that Janae says that she wanted to leave, right? And then from there, she was forced into this R situation where she tensed up. She wasn't comfortable. And how the other women were ordered to smack her. So she's laying out how if there is a person who wants to leave, there is an enforcement of violence. So basically, that's what they are laying out now, and to lay out the groundwork of why it is important that they feel he is a danger to the community. Okay? They then go into why he is a flight risk. Okay? So they wanted to lay out that not only is he a danger, but he is also a danger to flee in the instance that he is released from jail as well. So they were laying out a few things. They went over a lot, and we're going to go over it. I see some of you guys reposted that we are live. Thank y'all so much for reposting that for me. And we're going to continue. So, okay. So it says, okay, wait. She goes on to talk about kind of how he is manipulative over everyone involved and that the cult does travel. For instance, they've been to Costa Rica, Panama, and even Nicaragua, where they were all kicked out for endangering the national security and the country. They've also been to Puerto Rico and Hawaii. The defendant has an arrest from Hawaii, and he was forced to leave as well with the cult members. And in addition to the travel that this cult does under the leadership of the defendant, this cult, this so-called person that refers to himself as God. We, the state, received an anonymous tip that the defendant did have one of his followers go to Mexico to start setting up place for them when he gets out on bond. That's essentially where he can go. So right here, they're stating, listen, we got an anonymous tip that one of his followers has fled to Mexico. And we're told that the reason why this member went to Mexico was to set up shop for them to flee. So they're also further enforcing why they feel like he would be a flight risk and why they feel like it's important to keep him behind bars. So it says, we got an anonymous tip that, he went to Mexico to start setting up a place for them that when he gets out on bond, that's essentially where he could go. While that was an anonymous tip, we did observe on social media one of his members in Mexico just recently, as of a few days ago, confirming that he was in Mexico. Okay, so they say, listen, not only did we get an anonymous tip, but we seen from our own eyes that one of his members was actually in Mexico to basically back up the claims of this anonymous tipster. Now, the member that they are talking about is Solar. And so Solar and Musa are the two members that are in Mexico. Now, Solar is alleging that he's moving away from the tribe and that he is there to do his own thing. But the court is basically saying, listen, we got a tip that he was going to Mexico and that, it was for the purpose of setting up shop for the group. Okay. So I'm going to read you guys a little bit more, but I'm going to talk about what's public. So like I told you guys, I spoke with True. And I also spoke with Solar. I told y'all that, yes, I definitely want to interview them. And I want to see their side of the coin. A lot of people feel as though, they're just as culpable in this. And then there are people who feel as though they are victims themselves under the manipulation of Natureboy. So, I have very thorough and thought out questions that I would like to ask True. I would like to ask Solar, and I would like to ask the rest of the members. I'm going to be honest. I don't really want to talk to the girls. Talking to them really don't interest me. Like, I really want to talk to the guys. Okay? I want to talk to the guys. And I've made that clear, and I spoke to them. So, somebody said Loyal took the hard drive. Edit this. No, yeah. State Fam is correcting you. So anyways, let's see. So she's basically laying out, listen, they have been to Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua. They went to Hawaii. They was kicked out of Nicaragua. They was kicked out of Hawaii. And she was laying out how he has a member that was a part of the group that has also left and fled to Mexico. Now, before there was anybody who had reported that Solar had went to Mexico, he had responded basically to my DM like the next day after he responded to, like he kind of responded to me. It was kind of the middle of the night, and I'm always up in the middle of the night, y'all. And so he had responded to me after, because I didn't ask them if they was gonna do an interview, child. So he had responded to me, and he had said that he had left. And then so I'm a nut. I immediately called. Okay, I'm like, listen, I'm about to call. And so it was 3:00 in the morning for me. And so as y'all know, I live on the West Coast. So when I talked to him, I seen the outside and it was dark also. So I'm like, wait a minute, how is it dark for you? And I'm on the West Coast. It should be light. Like if it's 3:00 in the morning for me, it should be 6:00 in the morning if you in Georgia. So then he had basically revealed that he was in Mexico and that he had went down to Mexico. So I'm going to play just 1 minute of the conversation. I'm not going to release the full conversation because I'm going to wait and give him the opportunity to speak on my platform in an interview format if he would like to do that. So I'm going to hold off on releasing the conversation, but I will play y'all just a snippet of the conversation, and then I'm going to go back to reading the transcript. Listen close.
Entertain.
I'm usually up at this time too.
Yeah.
The sky is so beautiful over here. I can see every single star, and they're so bright.
Wait, how is it not daylight over there?
Oh, I'm not where you think I am. I'm not doing what you think I'm doing. I'm not who you think I am. I'm exceptionally upgraded, and if you knew that and you knew certain things about me, you wouldn't be resisting me so much. You probably.
Cause I'm on the West Coast and it's dark like that where I'm at.
Oh yeah. I'm in Mexico right now. I'm in Cancun.
Oh, you on a vacation?
Nah, it's just my life. San Diego is where my home base is. You know, I'm born and raised San Diego, so the West Coast, that's my home base. I'll be back. I'll be going there all the time. You know, that's my home. I got stuff set up over there too.
All right. If y'all didn't hear it, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all should be able to hear it. My mic picks up very well, and if I could hear, y'all should have been able to heard. I'm just saying. Anyways. So, yeah, so that's what basically they were referring to when they were talking about how he has a member that had went down to Mexico. That's basically what they was referring to, child. And so I had spoke to him before it had like even reached like a couple of other bloggers. I guess they had basically like secretly recorded him and posted it or whatever. Like before it had got out, like I had talked to him and he was talking about like how he had left, how he was doing his own thing, and how he was on his own, and you know, things like that. And so again, I will allow him to speak for himself whenever the interview happens at that time. So and mortals go name drop that I had talked to him before I wanted it known that I had been spoken to him. But anyways, let's carry on. So the prosecutor was laying out that they had a member that went to Mexico, how they felt like one of the members was basically trying to set up shop in Mexico. And then they went on to basically say how it was important because they felt like this was a part of the inner workings of the group. They were saying, listen, this is important because this lets you know that he's able to make these type of plays from behind bars. And so they were trying to show how imperative it is to keep him behind bars, because imagine what he could do if he was on the streets, if he's able to do all of this from behind bars. That's pretty much what the prosecutor said later on. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. So it says, you know, one of the members went to Mexico to start setting up a place for them. that when he gets out on bond, that's essentially where he could go. While that was an anonymous tip, we did observe, and I'm not the anonymous tip just to be, I ain't calling the folks. I feel like enough people have called. That's that on that. I'm not the anonymous tip, just to make that clear. But anyways, they said that was the anonymous tip. And they said, we did observe on social media one of his members in Mexico just recently, as of a few days ago, confirming that he was in Mexico. And so I mentioned that to the court. This is all a part of the cult's inner workings and how they operate and travel. The defendant was arrested for false imprisonment, R-word, prohibition of explicit electronic transmissions, and he has multiple counts for that. Because he did post multiple videos of him and the victim engaging in hanky-panky on social media, and I will reiterate that she did not consent to those videos being posted on social media. He does have a criminal record, and he will go, and we will go through all of them. So basically, after she laid out that he has a potential to flee to Mexico, after she laid out that he had went to Panama, Nicaragua, Hawaii, and he had been kicked out of these places, and then she showed how he had a member that was, she physically observed that was in Mexico. Then she went over his charges dating all the way back to 2006. So he had a string of charges that was also very important in the decision for their not granting bond. So all the way back in 2006, he had, I think, got a ticket or something for driving with his license suspended. So she said, you know, Judge, the reason why I am going back this far and why this is important, because on this matter in 2006, he was a failure to appear. He did not appear and he did not show up. So she was reinforcing again, if you let him out, he might not show up. She said in 2012, he also got a citation for driving while his license was suspended. Okay. So then she said in 2013, he was arrested for aggravated battery. And then she said that was reduced down to battery. She said that in 2016, he had a charge where he was charged with interference with custody, and he had a battery arrest. And then she said, I just want to reiterate that he had this previous charge also. So she was like, listen, Judge, he had a charge in 2013 for aggravated battery. And then here he is again in 2016 with aggravated battery again. And she said, you know, she was trying to lay the foundation. She said in 2020, he had a violation of rules and order out of Hawaii, which required Hawaii to order him and his coat to leave. Then she says, currently, now she said, listen, we done went from 2006, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2020 of all of these different violations. She then went from that, and then she said, as of right now, currently, he has a charge out of Ohio. Now, I told you guys about the charge out of Ohio as it pertains to Velvet, and that is what they brought up in court. So if you guys remember right here, I showed you guys this case that was a warrant that was issued for DV out of the state of Ohio. So it is the state of Ohio versus Eligio Bishop. So in a previous video, I showed you guys, I'm like, he got another warrant that's for Velvet or whatever. And so they brung that up at the hearing as well. And she said, currently he has a charge out of Ohio for a warrant for DV charge and a warrant from a former cult member and his wife whom has a protective order out of out of Ohio. And she said that they have a scheduled hearing on May 16th. So she was like, listen, we got 2006, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2020, and then currently he has a whole nother case pending. She was like, this case is pending that he has this hearing for this DV charge out of Ohio, and they are scheduled just a week from now, a little over a week from now on that matter. Okay? So then after she said that, she said he is a danger to and risk to the community. And based on his previous charges and current charges, it shows why he should not be released out to society. Okay? If you guys are enjoying the live so far, I see there are donations coming in. I appreciate it. For Good and Evil says outstanding and sends in $10. Kiara sends in a donation. If I missed some of you guys' donations, I'm sorry. I can't look at the chat and I can't look at my paper and look at the chat at the same time. But if you guys want to support the channel, y'all know that y'all can also always hit up the Cash App. Okay, that is always available. So after she said that, he was a danger and a risk to the community, she then asked the judge for permission to show videos. Okay, so she's like, all right, judge, I've already laid out that he had these charges. I've already laid out what the victim of this case has said. I've already laid out, all of these things. And then she asked the judge to be able to show a montage of videos. So the videos that she showed was, if you guys remember, there was a video where Malia was rubbing Natureboy's feet, right? And in the video, he talked about, he was like, if you let somebody smack you, then you deserve to get smacked, after he had ordered another one of them to smack her. I think I don't remember if it was Aya or it was one of them. He had told them to smack her. And then she was in the process of rubbing his feet or whatever. And then he was like, if you allow another person to, to smack you, then you deserve to be smacked or whatever, right? And then they also showed the video where they had, I think it was, he had all the girls lined up on the wall, okay? And he had all the girls lined up on the wall, and he was telling them to go up, and then they would stand up on the wall, and then he would say down. And then this was the video where they had to smack Eferu, okay? And then so they showed the video of when he instructed the member to smack Eferu, and she showed that video. And then they talked about how he specifically tells a member to go and talk to the victim. Okay, so if you guys watch my previous video, then you guys are aware that I was like, what are you doing? This is not a good idea. Like, what? And this is when he was basically telling Solar to go and contact Natiri, aka Janae, because she had filed these charges on him. So they were like, listen, judge, he even specifically told one of his members to go and talk to the victim. They said he is instructing his members to do things from inside the jail. Can you imagine what he would do if he was out? Okay, so I'm going to show y'all Exhibit A. Okay, I'm going to show y'all Exhibit A from when he told them to contact her.
Jeff?
I got mine, my chief.
Price?
Got mine.
What price?
I got mine.
You got yours?
Yeah, I got mine.
Okay, yeah, I got mine from somewhere. but I'll just be calling Loyal's number. And Malia, you don't got your phone?
No.
Keep on that.
Y'all leave it upstairs?
Yeah.
Y'all hold me down, man. It's just a test.
You already know, my chief.
We've been here before.
Worse.
We been here before. We gonna rock it out.
Yeah,
Pushing 3.
We know how to get. We know what to do.
We know how to maneuver this one.
using Securus. Goodbye.
Y'all are so damn foolish. Somebody in the chat gonna say, nah, the rest of that part still downloading. He gonna get that part at 80% download. I'm not about to play with y'all. I got glitter on my eyes, child. I'm not about to play with y'all in the chat. Talk about he gonna get the rest at 80% download. Y'all are a fool.
We
Say
good.
about to call back.
Where's that money coming from? Your cat, and we good. Yeah, we good. Yep.
Yeah, we could do this all day. I literally.
I'll hold that. Like,
I don't even think.
He said, did y'all hear him? He said, I hope they give me bail, man. I hope.
I got 1 minute left. I'm gonna call you back.
all right.
Wait, did he already say it? Now, didn't he say he's 70% downloaded now? I thought I had it queued up. Anyways, in this video, he also instructed them to do it as well. This was outside of the first time that he was supposed to get bond, and he talked about it here.
Found what 3 God has been pushing for years and years yet?
Yeah, they're right here.
Ah, guess who's on the phone?
I be looking like they cannot believe they own hype, but child, they really believe the Kool-Aid. They really drunk the Kool-Aid. They really drunk the Kool-Aid, and they really believe what is being said. It's just crazy.
We all here, my chief.
Hey, peace, my chief.
What's the vibes? Talk to me. Let me know something.
All right, so we outside right now. We outside the jail right now. This is the thing. So we've talked to multiple lawyers, called the jail themselves. This is what they got us on. Because one of the charges is rape, they won't let us bond out. So even though you're gonna go to this first appearance, they're gonna tell you everything they're trying to charge you with, and then they're gonna tell you how much your bond amount is. But because rape is one of those charges, there is no bond, and we have to we're gonna have to push that to, what was the date? Wednesday for the bond.
We're gonna have to. This lawyer's saying something different.
Okay.
This lawyer's
You're
saying.
gonna have to what?
We can basically file for a bond so that they put a bond on you so we can bail you out early. So we can file for that. It's going to take about a week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. He said about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks for that process to go through. In between.
Bro, they fucked me over, bro.
Yeah.
This shit, they fucked me over, bro.
Yep. Definitely.
I'm in here.
Because, the detectives told.
Is God worried or scared? It sounds like he's worried and scared. He said, oh my God, they F me over, bro. Oh my God. And as you hear, they're explaining to him and they're saying because there was a R-worded charge on him that he will not be able to bond out for at least 2 weeks because they have to file a petition. They have to go before the judge. They have to set things in motion, and they cannot bond him out, and it's going to be at least 2 weeks. So Natureboy is reacting to that, and he's basically saying, oh, my God, God is worried. Can y'all do God a favor and go intimidate the witness? Y'all gotta hurry up and get me out of here. Go intimidate the witness for me, you guys. Go intimidate her because I have to get out. And, it doesn't matter if you guys get more charges, but do what you got to do to get me out, okay? This is what God is telling them. Let's bring it back, and then I'm going to let it play some more.
A week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. He said about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks for that process to go through. In between.
Bro, they fucked me over, bro.
Yeah.
This shit, they fucked me over, bro.
Yep. Definitely.
I'm in here.
Because the detectives told us when we was leaving, they're like, okay, so yes, he is under arrest right now, yes, But don't worry, tomorrow he's gonna have a hearing, and you'll get the bond amount. Then you can bail him out. You'll get the bond then at the hearing. But they already knew that there was gonna be no bond. They didn't tell us that. They wanted to make us feel good or something.
Yeah, where Malia at? Where girl?
They back at the house.
They're at the house. It's me, True, and Loyal.
I'm not gonna get another phone call.
No, we can link. I can link him into this call right here.
Yeah,
we
can
got
bring him in.
solution.
Hurry up.
We got solution.
Hey, yo, y'all gotta hold it the fuck down, bro. They trying to hold me in, bro.
Nah, you already know we done been in this situation before. It look a certain type of way in the beginning, but we got you.
I got
you. And I'm gonna make a phone call.
Yo, you can hear me?
Merge.
Yep.
Yo, we got three on the phone.
Hello?
Yeah, the calls are merged. Everybody together.
Okay, what you said? Meeting.
Oh yeah, we all here.
Hey, listen up.
We right here.
They gonna try to keep me in here, yo. The whole time.
I see that. We gonna go live. We gonna talk about it. We gonna make some noise.
You got 1,000 people on IG right now on the live.
We texting.
Yo, listen. Y'all gotta hold me the fuck down.
That's okay.
Pushing 3.
Y'all gotta make noise like everything y'all could do, because you need to talk to the jury. I got 1 minute left.
We got you, my chief.
Pushing 3.
I said we got you, my chief.
Talk to the Terry, bro.
Pushing 3.
So you hear me?
Pushing 3. I'm gonna get it done.
I'm gonna hang up the call right back.
All right, pushing 3.
All right. So as you see right there, that is what they quoted in court. So in court, the prosecutor, she talked about this video and how he had his members telling them to go after the witness. She said he, and I quote, told his members to make noise. And she reiterated how dangerous it would be if he was out, because he's already telling his members from jail to make noise and reach out and intimidate the witness. So that is what she told the judge. Then after that, they also spoke about the video in which he told, where he talked about how he let his son play with his wanky. Okay, if you guys remember that, there was a video of Natureboy, and in the video he basically was talking about how he didn't want any of the other kids to come into his cult because he wanted to be free to be able to be naked, and he didn't want any other kids. He said he only wants his kids, and he says that he wants to freely be able to do hanky-panky with their mothers. And one time after he was done, he said his son grabbed and touched his wanky and grabbed it. And so they talked about that as at the hearing as well, about the video in which he talked about his son grabbing his meat. Okay. So after they had went through several things, then she had basically read Janae's impact statement. So I'm just going to basically summarize her impact statement. Her impact statement was saying that she's in fear of her life. She feels that he is a danger to her and the other members in the cult. She said that he would instruct other members to do harm and smack them. She talks about, and she just kept emphasizing how scared she was of him, how he forced her to do acts like basically against her will. She talked about how, what else did she say? She was basically talking about how she was scared. You know, I'm scared. Don't let him out. He's a danger to me. Not only is he a danger to me, but he's a danger to the other members. And she gave a very powerful impact statement. So after she gave her impact statement, the prosecutor emphasized how much of, a danger he was. And she said that he told Nateri that he would, that he wanted to kill her and that he could kill her. And she said, as I stated to the court, he has instructed his followers to reach out to her, Your Honor. In looking at all four of these factors, there is no way the court can grant the defendant bond. I understand the defense will argue that he is alleged to commit these acts and he is innocent of these offenses. But even outside of that, even outside of what he is a part of in this cult and his actions as far as his criminal history and what he does in these videos and what people have come forward, he is a significant risk to the community. Therefore, bond should not be granted. So she said, due to what he does in his cult, his criminal record, the people who have come forward, she said, the people that have come forward. So to me, that indicates that it's more than one person who has come forward, and we've seen evidence of that because Natiri, aka Janae, has come forward and filed these charges, and also Velvet has also come forward with her charges out of Ohio. So they're like, due to his criminal history, the people who have come forward, he is a significant risk to the community. Therefore, bond should not be granted. Okay? So then his defense, child, and I'm like, I could have did a better job at defending him than this public defender. I could have did. I'm like, this is what they paying y'all in law school to do. I'm like, there's some cases where they don't really have a lot to go off of, And so it's really hard to quickly come up with a defense, and you got so many cases as a public defender you don't really have. But being that there's so much material, there's also material of a defense. Even if it's a BS defense, you still want to put up some type of defense. His defense was just basically, these are just don't listen to the stuff they said because it's allegations. That was basically the defense of the public defender. He was basically like, don't listen to it because it's allegations. But I'm gonna read it. So the public defender says, thank you, Your Honor. The alleged facts in this case, they grab your attention, Judge. You might even call them shocking, but what I'm going to ask that the court does here is to see past those allegations because Mr. Bishop does remain at cloak in the presumption of innocence, as the court is aware, and instead I ask that the court laser focus on, I couldn't make out the word, factors and consider granting Mr. Bishop bond. Mr. Bishop is originally from New York City, Judge. He moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He said he moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. I said, we might as well pack it up right there because I see where this is going. You gonna tell the court that he moved there 20 years ago. He said, Mr. Bishop is originally from New York City, Judge. He moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He's been based in Atlanta ever since then. He said he has been based in Atlanta ever since then. What? What? 20 years based in Atlanta? Excuse me, sir? You gonna get up there and lie like that? Child, anyway. I'm like, you ain't even got your facts straight. He talking about, he referring to the house. He was referring to the house that Natureboy was arrested in. He said it was an apartment complex. I'm like, you don't even got your facts on whether this was a house or an apartment. This clearly made the news, and this clearly is a lot of evidence on the location. He can't even distinguish if it was a house or an apartment complex. I'm like, anyways, he said he moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He's been based in Atlanta ever since then, even though he has done some traveling as the state spoke about. Atlanta is where Mr. Bishop hangs his hat. So he basically saying, listen, he only did a little bit of traveling. Yeah, you know, they talked about him traveling, but Atlanta is his home base. This is where he hangs his hat. He said, even though he has done some traveling, as the state spoke about, Atlanta is where Mr. Bishop hangs his hat. Mr. Bishop just turned 40 in the jail on April 29th. Okay? So there was a lot of people who was questioning his birthday. I think that some of the records that got input like incorrectly. So maybe this is the right fact that he got right. I don't know. But he said that he just turned 40 in jail on April 29th. He did spend time in the Army, judge, before being medically discharged in the 2000s. After being discharged, he did get his high school diploma through Job Corps. Okay. So it says he was in the Army and then he got discharged from the Army. And then after that, he got his diploma through Job Corps. Now, I don't know nothing about the Army, but I thought that you had to have your diploma before you went into the Army. I don't know. You said he just turned 38. Well, his attorney said that he turned 40. Okay? I'm reading you exactly what this man said. I wrote it down word for word. He said he turned 40. Now, anyway, I thought you had to get your diploma before, but he said, you know, he got his diploma after he got discharged out of the Army through Job Corps. Then this was the kicker right here. I said, are you shitting me? He said, Mr. Bishop has always been gainfully employed. He got his barber's license after getting his high school diploma. He opened a barber shop in 2013. I said, always gainfully employed? I could count about 6 years where he wasn't employed. So what do you mean, always gainfully employed? But anyways, his attorney says, Mr. Bishop has always been gainfully employed. He got his barber's license after getting his high school diploma. He opened up a barber shop in 2013. It was called Bishop's HD Cuts. He sold that business in 2015, judge. But it's still local. It's still being run, although no longer by Mr. Bishop. Mr. Bishop does have a stable address in Decatur, Georgia. He is currently currently 1 year into a 2-year lease, judge. That's where the warrants in this case were executed, at that apartment complex. I'm like, at the apartment complex? Okay, so he said he is currently 1 year into a 2-year lease, And that is where the warrant is in the case where it was executed at the apartment complex. Okay. Okay. And then he says, you know, that was in Decatur, and that's where he plans to continue to stay when and if he is able to bond out. DeKalb County Jail. Your Honor, Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues in jail. So then he went into medical. Okay? So then he went into medical, and he said, Your Honor, he is not a flight risk because he has been in Decatur for 20 years. He has a business that he owned, and he sold it, but he owned it, but he sold it. But he owned it, but he sold it. Okay? He says, in addition, he is suffering from extreme dental issues. And I said, you mean to tell me that God at 60% download, that you would think that maybe if you are like 10% download, you know, you still got the ailments of like man. You would even think like maybe if you at 20% downloaded of God, that you might still feel like, you know, somebody, you know, poking you or pinching you and it might hurt a little bit. You know, you might still experience these things at 30%, 40%, and 50%. But at 60%, you ain't in control of this dental issue that's going on. Child, anyway. So he ended up telling the judge that, y'all know how they said, you know, this member left, that member left, and I told y'all, I said, you know what? They pushing free. These members is pushing free. He ended up telling the judge that the tooth was also trying to escape and push free as well. So the members then push free. Push free. And he said that the tooth is trying to escape also. Child, this is what was said, honey. This is what was said. Now, if you want to hear the actual audio, I'm not allowed to play the audio. I'm not going to play on my channel. But if you want to hear the actual audio, okay, you could go to Mind Over Matter TV, and he has the full proceeding over there, and you can hear the audio for yourself. But he said, in addition, that that the tooth was trying to escape too, child. Where was I at in this transcript? Okay. Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues. And I'm saying, y'all hollering in the chat, but y'all ain't supported the stream now. If y'all enjoy my Natureboy coverage, then I would appreciate that, you know, if you had the house. I'm just saying. You know, you can also go to my website, child, at www.neekatnight.com. You can find bucket hats like the one that I'm wearing here. This is a LA bucket hat that is available on my website. So I do appreciate you guys supporting me on my website. I do have a sale going on. Okay, if you go to my website and put in the code BLOWOUT, you could get 40% off of pajamas and lingerie. Now, if you want to get a cute coin off of bucket hats and other accessories, you can only use one code or the other. You could use the code Night Out, and you can get you a cute coin off as well. Now, anyways, let's proceed. So, these issues with the tooth now. So, he says, Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues in jail. He has a tooth that is decayed down to the root. So he has a tooth that is decayed down to the root, causing him extreme pain. And I said, well, damn, the tooth was that the offset of the download? Like, you get downloaded, but then certain parts start deteriorating? I don't know. But anyways, they said that the tooth had decayed down to the root, causing him extreme pain. He has sought medical care for that situation, and all that he has been able to get for a response is that there is currently a long waiting list at the jail to be seen for that sort of issue, Judge. I understand that the state does have concerns about Mr. Bishop being a flight risk. In order to, allay those fears, the defense has no objection in house arrest being a condition of bond. We would not object to an ankle monitor. Of course, we would ask that we would ask the court that the court allowed to leave his house in Decatur to meet with his attorneys for medical care. For anything else that's absolutely vital, child, I gotta read my own scribble. Anything else that's absolutely vital, Judge, Mr. Bishop does have significant support here. I believe his friend, Aaron Dixon, Mr. Dixon, are you on the call? Now, child, the reason why I know who Aaron Dixon is because Immortal Mortals on Instagram, she done been reporting on the PPP loans over on the chat on her Instagram. Now, over on Immortal Mortals on Instagram, she showed the picture of True, and she showed the name Aaron Dixon with the PPP loans. Okay, that's what she showed over there. If y'all want to go over onto Immortal Mortals and check it out. So he said, I believe he has significant support here. I believe his friend Aaron Dixon, Mr. Dixon, are you on the call? Aaron answers and says, yes, sir, I'm here. Okay. So then the defendant, the public defender says, this is Aaron Dixon. Judge, he is a friend of Mr. Bishop. He's here to show his support for Mr. Bishop. So in light of Mr. Bishop significant ties to the area, in light of the fact that that he has been a productive member of society, and that he has opened a successful business and sold it, in light of, and I said, what? He said he has been a productive member of society, and that he has opened a successful business and sold it. In light of the medical issues that Mr. Bishop is currently dealing with in the DeKalb County Jail, we would ask that the court grant a bond in the amount of $50,000. As I mentioned, we would have no objection to house arrest, to a stay-away order from the alleged victim in this case. And again, I would just like to reiterate, we'd ask the court to see past the allegations in this case, because that's what they are. At this point, allegations. And instead, focus on the factors that we think would grant Mr. Bishop $50,000 bond, Judge. Okay? So he said, listen, look past the BS that the prosecutor said. Even though the prosecutor pulled up a history of his record and charges and showed that he had multiple counts of battery, don't listen to that. It's pure allegations. Even though he has another domestic situation out of Ohio, That's allegations. Judge, we would like you to grant Mr. Bishop a $50,000 bond. Like, these are just allegations. Like, what are you talking about? These are just allegations. Okay? So then they went to the judge. So after they went to the judge said, having heard the argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There is also a risk of flight and also a risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude his hearing. Okay? So that's what the judge said. He said, having heard the argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There is also a risk of flight and also a risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude the hearing, and that was the hearing. And Natureboy was, I don't know. I think they didn't show that any of the members. I mean, they didn't show that Natureboy. They did not show that Natureboy was in court. Somebody sent a donation and says, it was the 3 God downloaded at 60% for me. Thank you for the donation. She said, it was the 3 God downloaded at 60% for me. Thank you, okay? If y'all want to send in any type of, donations, I greatly appreciate it, okay? I greatly appreciate it, okay? Period. So, that concludes the bond hearing. That is the information on the bond hearing. Again, if you go to the clip that's circulating from Charlie No Angel on Bigo is very small. But he was definitely boots on the ground and streaming this live on Bigo. So, he was on it. But if you go to Mind Over Matter TV, he has a video. It's like 20 minutes. And that's where I was able to write the transcripts from there. And on the video, you can actually hear it. Without me being silly and stuff like that, you can actually hear the court proceedings and, whatever. So, yeah, that's that on that. My floor is open to talk to True. Again, even though, like I said, I am very silly when I'm doing commentary, okay? I mean, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. I am very silly when I'm doing commentary, but I will be fair. If he sits down and talks to me on a live a live interview, then I definitely will be fair. I'm not going to troll him. I'm not going to, just be silly to be silly. Like if True sits down and does the interview, I'm definitely going to ask the important questions. I've already, told him a couple of questions that I'm interested in asking him and things like that. And then I feel like it would definitely be a good interview, because I think that a lot of people who, when they talk to them, they immediately go into like trolling and they kind of, get defensive. So it's like, listen, I ain't gonna troll you. I want to hear you out. I do want to speak to you. Like, even though I'm trolling in this video, if we do an actual interview, I will not troll. I will be serious, and we will get down to the get down and to the get down. I'll let you speak. I'll speak, and we'll do it like that. If Solar is open to doing an interview, he said that, he is at a later date, then I will open up my platform to talk to Solar as well. I already spoke to both of them, and I spoke to, them, and, it talked about setting this up. It's just a matter of when they are ready to do it. So when they ready to do it, then we do it. But you know, I don't know if they gonna get mad at my coverage today. But this is my coverage. This has been my coverage, period. So it is what it is. But I just wanted to bring that to y'all. Go to 9.true Instagram and tell him Neek at Night said to interview. No. Go to his page and say, because we already talked about interviewing. So go to his page and say, what day can we schedule the Neek at Night interview? Yeah, that's it. Ask him, what day can we schedule the Neek at Night interview? Okay? Then go to Solar's page, okay? Because Solar said he would do it, but he running also. He said, I'm going to do it, but just wait, you know. But, you know, we need a ETA on the Solar interview as well. So go to 9. No. He changed his. I don't think his is 9 Solar. His is LOV3 Solar, I think. Hold on. Yeah, LOV3.solar. So go to Solar page and say, Neek at Night want to know what day can y'all set up, because she gonna be fair. Now, like I said, when I do an interview, I'm gonna be fair. It's gonna be fair. Now. But anyways, that concludes this broadcast. Thank y'all for hanging with me. I will go live again, I believe in give me like an hour or so, and I'm gonna go give me some food, give me something to eat. I haven't ate nothing yet, so I'm gonna go give me some food, give me something to eat, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys the updates on Kevin Samuels passing. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard that. It took me forever to write down this 20-minute transcript took me so long to write. It took me way longer to write than I expected. And I should have went live about Kevin Samuels first, like my first mind, but whatever, it is what it is. I didn't expect these transcripts to take me so long to write them out by hand, but I had to pause it, make sure I wrote it right, pause it, make sure I wrote it right. It was a mess. So give me about an hour. And then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to go live about the updates as it pertains to Kevin Samuels. So at that time, you know, I might open up the floor. I don't know how I might feel. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be back. But just remember that you guys could catch these bucket hats on my website. I just really feel like the bucket hats are the look of the summer. Like, the bucket hats are definitely the look of the summer. So get into it, okay, and get you some cute little, you know, things from my website. I'll catch y'all later.